for this very first one, watch out for your over-aggression early on, because teams will be able to rejoin into the fight very quickly if you decide to invade. Selangor Red Giants will not heed my advice, and they will go ahead and ban out the Grok. Meanwhile, Alter Ego, take away the Sora and the Esmeralda.
Okay. That should be, oh, that is Jushin for SRG gonna be attempting a trade for the Claude as well as the Eve. Now, Alter Ego, they have shown that they are willing to first pick the Leomord actually.
Yep.
But if Leomord and Claude is available, which might actually happen in this particular match, since I'm really thinking that the Freya is the third ban for SRG, I wonder what they will prioritize. Is it going to be Leomord, or is it going to be that Eve? What a ban, a Farsa for Arthur Ego.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eve would be this blue 3 ban, but instead they respect Stormy that much and take away that Farsa.
Okay.
They're not gonna risk it. Hijuma's not gonna say, okay coach, I can Lunox them. Despite the stellar matchup, the win rate on a Lunox to Farsa matchup, they won't risk it.
This really tells me Eve first pick for Alter Ego, then eventually, if they give up the Claude, at least there is the potential for the Freya. But if the Freya gets banned by SRG, I think that it's just fair for Alter Ego to just prioritize that Claude, because the Claude is not afraid of the Eve, not that afraid of the Leomord, although that could be a problem.
What's your command?
It's Fanny instead. Alter Ego, absolutely not the Claude first pick. I think likely Eve or Leomord.
Eve or the Mord, yeah.
Just one of those two. With them taking away the Farsa, what if it is just gonna go straight into the Eve, so they take it away from Stormy? But I mean, you can count on Stormy to play the Kimmy and the... Oh, wow. Wow, that is the what-us, where Alter Ego continue to surprise.
Yep, because they know they break away the Freya board combo, so they're okay with that. They're okay if the Claude is picked up. Worst that could happen is Eve is the choice here for SRG, which I think likely it is.
So SRG gets both, the Eve and the Mord.
Eve Mord, that's right. It will be so bad if SRG gives the Leomord back. I think it's just that's the Mord as well as the Eve.
Okay. Are they gonna lead towards the most obvious pick, or maybe go in for their own swerve? They pick up the Hilda, and then they're gonna go Claude. Hilda into the Leomord, though, is if ever Alter Ego picks up the Leomord here.
Scary SRG. I think they want to go Fredrin third pick.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we know that SRG, they struggle with the utility junglers. And the scariest thing about this is that you can just Leomord. There you go. They gave away what we suggested.
For them.
And Alter Ego gets the trifecta of the metagame. Of today's metagame, I mean, like literally today, January 24th.
Let SRG cook, but what are they cooking up? We saw what happened to Liquid earlier against these three. Well, to the credit of SRG, if they can take this game 1 win against those three, then Alter Ego will have to do some major restructuring.
Oh yeah, they cracked the code if that's the case.
Yeah.
So this could be limit testing. Again, it's a best of 5.
Why would you limit test in the lower bracket finals?
Hey,
what if this time they go Uranus?
It's been a while since we've seen a download team.
That's true.
That's right. In the history of MLBB sports, there have been, a couple of teams who succeeded by allowing certain things to run through and see how far they can get away with it. SRG this early, leaning hard on a strat that beat them in the upper bracket finals. Are they going utility this early?
This was automatically banned against Cartesi after, I think after game 2, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's so important. I feel like this is actually a good hero. But is it a good hero for Sakai's? That's the
yeah.
Is it a good hero for SRG in general right now? If we were just to block out the logos of the teams, I think that this is such an even first 3 picks. Yeah,
I can see that. Although because of that all the more important question around Sakai's and this Baxia pick, I am underwhelmed by this Baxia.
Yep.
On theory, yes.
2 out of 3 times that Liquid pulled off a utility jungler-centric lineup in their lower bracket semis earlier today, that they lost, by the way.
Yeah.
AE figured it out.
Yep.
So what, I don't know, maybe SRG is working on recency bias. Maybe, all right, let's just not do what Liquid did in those moments, because I'm also a believer of the utility jungler meta, but not like this, not so soon, not so brazen.
We'll see. But Cho being banned out, I believe that SRG will be looking towards the ban on the Kalia as it is. It is actually still open.
Yep. That's a Selena. We haven't seen her banned or picked in a while.
Well,
Who said there are no shortcuts
so that's
in
the
life?
chip. All
I
right, smart,
literally
because we
invented
saw
one.
Alter Ego actually pick up that chip. That's this it's the Alice. All right. So SRG gonna be looking for their maybe last pick their Stormy hero. Just get the Lunox maybe.
Yeah. Put that in the mid. Yeah, straight up. I mean, in the center of the map, when you're going up against all the pokes of E, the self-sustain is going to help you out greatly, and you can punish aggression if ever you get to Darkening and Chaos Assault out. How would you feel if they suddenly sort of pick up a Zetian for Stormy?
Maybe last pick if that is the case. Then in that scenario, they would want to get the CC first.
Wow.
For Crab.
We don't know actually if this Basha is a jungler.
Lapu-Lapu.
Now we can confirm it's a jungler.
Oh, it's a jungler.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, because not a single time in M7 has Selangor Giants played utility jungle.
Yeah.
Now once.
Not once. All right. So I think without the Esmeralda, you need a little bit of shred here from Alter Ego, but you already have picked up your Freya as well as your Eve. Might not get that from the XP. Maybe just a Yu Zhong. It is actually available. Maybe a Yu Zhong for Nino, and then would want to look for another source of stun to actually activate this Freya.
Yeah.
Kalia is still open, so I think Kalia Yu Zhong will be into the mix.
Right. With the EXP.
They go back.
Whoa, what is the roll?
That
Is
a
this
roll
roll glue?
Rome Patrick.
Okay, Alec, ever growing his hero pool. What number is that now?
And
Dear
SRG, if
God.
these were different meta, Angela will be the last pick for SRG. Look at how many good vessels there are for the Angela.
Nice one, baby.
Yeah.
Nice one, baby, but that is very unlikely in this scenario.
That's unique. That's a unique pick for Alec right there.
10th unique pickup now for the M7 World Championship, and I think SRG might not have expected this. The big swerve, the Rome glue. It's even more so worrying now for the guys to make this Blacksha jungle work.
Yeah. You're left with
Got him lined up in
Kimmy.
Yeah.
I really don't like SRG's lineup.
It's a weird damage profile.
It's scattered.
It's like a ragdoll.
It's a damage profile that AE are comfortable going into.
I have to vote for Alter Ego, especially after seeing them win this lineup. It's so difficult to go up against this five man that they have built.
Yeah. Leo, Alter Ego also?
Yeah, especially with El Padre on that CC, he's hot with it.
Well, Selangor Red Giants gave 3 crucial heroes to Alter Ego. Heroes integral to the destruction of the Golden Road. Unless SRG suddenly whip out some next level MLBB gameplay, then they might just be falling in this very first game. Malaysia versus Indonesia,
5 seconds till the enemy
SRG
reaches the
versus Alter
battlefield.
Ego.
Smash them.
Here we go. Alter Ego just took down a Titan, and now next in sight are the
Welcome
Giants
to
here.
Mobile Legends.
Welcome everyone to this best of 5. A spot to the grand finals to face off Rora from the Philippines is on the line, and it starts here. Brigida, how are we feeling? I mean, did you get some time to recalibrate after the last match, and now we jump into this one? Whoa, Hijime.
Okay, I thought we'd be seeing another first blood in less than a minute, but I'm first of all glad to see Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to cast Patrick,
Everyone
but
loves
I'm
it.
very surprised to see it in Rome. And I guess this goes to show how deep Alter Ego and their pockets are in terms of bringing out these picks or these drafts. But then, overall, I just feel like momentum is definitely on their side. This is a draft that will enable them to keep fighting as much as they want. But SRG, just the same, since they have this very tanky lineup, they just have to find the right targets to go for. And I feel like that's why we're seeing those fast rotations come in. But so far, Alter Ego are just quick to reposition.
And Arfi's been playing this matchup all day long. Freya up against Claude, and he seems to always do well on it. And even Nino getting bullied up top a little bit doesn't feel too bad, because last game saw him behind 2 deaths and still carried.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out too, just because, again, like the panel mentioned, there's basically 3 very comfort picks that we just saw from the last series with Alter Ego. Again, I just feel like I've only seen basically that in the gold lane. It's typically Arfi putting pressure on the Claude as he should, and we know that how that scaling can go here for them. But even so, to see this Leo more into the hands of Yasuke, where he had to go ahead and deal with it from Carl Tizzi in the previous one, you know that they want to go ahead and start things strong. And even for Nino on the CC, I think that was such a big part of that Game 5 in the last series here. So, yeah, if I had to say anything, momentum-wise, Alter Ego Esports should have this with this kind of draft too. I mean, but SRG is going to go claim the turtle.
Nice level 4 over to Cram just in time. A big Raven Spider comes down. Yasuke on the steed, looking for Yumes now. Yumes brought down low. Can Nino get the kill? Yasuke with first blood. So a turtle for a kill. How we feel about that trade?
It feels as if it's still somewhat in favor of Alter Ego, because from the get-go, it didn't seem like they wanted the turtle anyway. They were just standing in the EXP lane. They had their eyes set on Cram. It seems like Cram was the initial target. It just so happened that Yumes was there. He was the more accessible one for them at the moment as SRG transitioned towards potentially considering that fight after the objective. So I feel like this is Alter Ego and their game plan all along, but RP?
Nice gank onto RP, in comes the Blazing Duet. RP in a bad spot, taking out Sekai's. Able to get the kill. Look at Alec though. Gets a slam. Hichume gets involved as well. Doesn't use RWM just yet. Here comes Barbio. The slam through and they're all caught in the RWM. Yumes trying to do damage on a Hichume as Sekai's goes up against Yasuke. It's a 1v2. He pushes to the side and down goes Yasuke.
Sekai's is still alive. He's so tanky. Now RP trying to join in.
All right, RP looking for the battle. Alter Ego decides to back off. It's 2-2.
Okay, that shows us that yes, they want to go ahead and shut down Arfi from scaling up the way we saw him do previously. They make a play there in the gold lane, but then they also have to answer, and they're still going to stay down here. Now, one of the big things that they can play around for Alter Ego Esports, like we just saw, was that combination of having the real-world manipulation in your favor, and then you kind of just let to go and let loose with the Phantom Steed and everything else. But there's good response from SRG's lineup. They're capable of fighting back if they want to.
A lot of damage onto Yumes. Yumes won't be able to get away from this one. Yasuke with another kill into his pocket. Add that on with the War Axe. He's 3-1-0. It's looking good.
Yeah.
For him.
I was supposed to say, Alter Ego so far have found ways to really deal with Stormy. I think so far, considering the damage profile right now, it's really Stormy who you want to go after at that moment. But now it's even Yumes who seems like a really easy target. Alec, wait.
Alec's taking a lot of damage. There goes the RWM though. RP locks onto Cram. Sekai's is able to get the turtle though. Into the backside, Nino looking for damage dealers, but the damage goes all onto RP. Graham able to get the kill, but Alter Ego don't want to let it go down. Guys, Hijume and Alec are moving forward. Another kill into the hands of Stormy as Yasuke bites one back. It's a 2-for-2. The turtle still goes to SRG.
They just really want to keep fighting. That was Alec also burning the flicker just to force that dive under the tier 2, making sure that Yasuke too has company as he goes in for the dive.
There's I don't know, it's like a hidden passive about the SpongeBob and Patrick skin. Like, you just want to fight them. There's something about it, man, and that's what happened. Alec was taking all that damage, and it started up that fight that was chosen by SRG. So, you know, amidst it all, some kills obviously went over to Alter Ego, and they had a good fight there, but SRG still maintains the lead. They do have still some control around the map.
Who got it?
Oh, did he get the orange buff? Yes. Yasuke will be able to get away safely with this. Cram moving on to Hijume. Yume's there as well. Alec looking to join the fray. A lot of damage with the Blazing Duet. Innocent able to get the kill on a Hijume. Alec's now in trouble. Next on the chopping block, he gets the slam, tries to bring him back, but he's caught in between 4 members. They're gonna jump him, they're gonna pound him down, and now Yasuke's on the run as well as wants to close the distance. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Innocent now getting involved as well as Yasuke picks up Yumes, flickers through, and Nino gets away safely.
Oh my, that was a well-timed entry from Innocent. You saw it. Arfi was nowhere to be found during that instance, so there definitely was an advantage towards SRG. But Yasuke though, the reset and him getting his ultimate for the second time around is still finding something out of that. It's still a really good stat line we're seeing, and he's still ahead of Sekai's.
He wants to take the buff again.
He's gonna take another one here with the pushback onto you. Comes Arfi with the Valkyrie descent. Sekai's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. One more hit and he does go down. Yasuke picks up the kill, and now Yasuke's on the run. Cram able to close the distance though. And now Stormy moving on Arfi. A nice stun onto Alec. The grab, slam, a nice RB to catch Stormy and Innocent. But Cram is taking him for a ride. side. Back onto the tower. Alex finally forced to run off, but Nino's onto the tower. He doesn't care about the shots. He's gonna get the kill. But Innocent now look for the response with Blazing Duet. The Vengeance able to respond back, and we are back down to calm.
Alter Ego wants to fight the Giants, and the Giants will always fight back. Again, all this for the buff pressure in the jungle is what's happening here. Third turtle is up. We'll see if SRG secures this one again, but man, you got to get up to Alter Ego. The way they like to fight on the map early on, it doesn't matter. They'll take those fights.
And they may have stayed a bit too long there though, because they were able to take away the objective or the buffs from Sekai's, but Sekai's was able to get away. And now it's these two marksmen who keep fighting. Hold on.
Big hit on to Cram. Cram's gonna go down. Arp comes into the backside though. Looking to try to get the final hit. Yuum's able to find Yasuke. Nino finds Cram. It's a 1-for-1 and a Blazing Duet locks on to Hijime. And a Blazing Duet locks on to Hijime. And he does go down. Innocent wants another. He's gonna chase down Innocent. Doesn't have the BMI currently, but it's just a couple more shots. He finally flickers in. One more hit, but no! Cram won't go down like this.
But he has to get off, and Innocent's just gonna go again, but you can't chase him down. The flying clouds.
Walks into Stormy, some eyes there as well. Now Nino in the back. Let's get under the base safely. What is going on?
That's the curtain call. He could have reached. He could have reached it. He could have went for the chase, but
He was tied up.
he was tied up.
Tied up by the yo-yo, man. I mean, hey, that's about as good as it will get in those engages. But man, Alter Ego Esports, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place here, you've got to go with some defense, and that's why you've got those brute forces built in.
Yep.
Nino has to help Yosuke, especially when they decide to go into these fights again, fighting around the real world manipulation. It does help them kind of lock down the control, but so far, notice how SRG has taken these fights. They also have pretty good defensiveness now too, with the couple chastised pauldrons they have, plus the Dom Ice on Yuum's. He picks up his own, so they are going into these fights ready to just kind of brawl it out defensively.
And Alter Ego does not have that just yet. They don't have a direct answer to Innocent, who, compared to what we've seen whenever RV on the Freya goes up against the Claude in their previous series against Liquid, seems to be performing much better on the Claude. These early decisions to join the fights, the amount of damage you get to see from him, and that Swift Trinity already completed in 9 minutes. Means so much about how Innocent was able to handle the laning phase.
Well, not only that, but Selangor Red Giants as a whole made a great job at ganking that gold lane to make sure Innocent had a good experience.
You know where that is? Because I see that fight with RP multiple times in the last series. They're like, you know what? If we want to go ahead and have a better chance here, Innocent's got to do his thing, but we also got to allow him to do his thing. And so that one or two times they went down and kind of focused on that to get that kill, or at least to stop RP from bullying the lane early on, that's what helped bring them to this point. Now they've got control around this first Lord here. Alter Ego, though, trying to get a position for this, unless they go for RP. Okay.
He's just going to get pushed back. There's the commit, though. Big Brave Spider with a Blazing Duet from Innocent. Hijime now just trying to get away, but he's going to get chopped down. Yasuke does bring out the Phantom Steed, but at this point, AE just wants to get away free. SRG now looking, pacing. Arfi going to back off. They just want the Lord. Will AE give it to him?
Arfi wasn't the real target. When they saw Arfi and when they felt that SRG might actually go for him, Hijime, the other members were forced to reveal themselves, and unknowingly, Cram was there, ready to jump on them anytime. And that was the perfect cue for Innocent to just use the Blazing Duet at the right moment as well. There was no way Hijime could have gotten out of that, not without the flicker. And now Alter Ego couldn't even contest, but wait.
Big Valkyrie's descent. RP finally moves on to Stormy. A couple more shots, but he gets stunned. Wait, the final hit connects. Innocent gonna be pulling up soon, though. RP still going strong. Yasuke, the RWM catches two, and that's gonna be it for Cram. Alter Ego Esports always fight back.
They'll take the fight even with a Lord charging toward them. They don't care. They'll go for it. The Purify will not save Stormy.
Yep. And such a Such a brutal way to deal with Cram, who you saw for how many times in a row now was just able to easily get access to Hijume. But during that moment where it wasn't such a reactive real-world manipulation that you get to see from Hijume, he was being well guarded by the other members of Alter Ego. Surprisingly, they have ways, they have damage to already deal with this guy, and that is something you could also expect from them in the upcoming team fight so long as they're able to set up, but Sakai's.
Nice dodges from Alec and Arfi.
Oh, there's the re-engage.
Does get the grab. Force use a flicker, and comes Cram with a bravest fighter. Innocent gets some more free shots. Barbiel does come out, but AE decides to disengage.
Okay.
All right, they want it, like there was an attempt to set something up. They didn't get the setup they were looking for if you're SRG, and then Alec decided to go ahead and engage. He gets zoned out from his team. Nothing too bad though, because again, that one kill doesn't really change the course of the game. They're at this point playing into the Lord here in about 1:20.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the itemization and everything else, even the space on the map, it's nearly even, right? 3 turrets are down, Alter Ego's got that, SRG has 3 now as well. So it's more so about these constant fights that we've seen breaking out. How do the adjustments be made here? Again, once we get to some of those defensive items coming into place, that's where you'll see a little more finesse that's needed for the team to have that upper hand. Conceals also are going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and it's also maybe a Flying Clouds thing where
that's
they
true.
just constantly find themselves back wherever the team fight was last seen, and they just constantly find ways to start again, which I think has been working really well so far for both of these teams, because it's just really a matter of timing and who gets to force out a fight at the better moment, especially considering now that we're approaching the more important objectives, and the gold lead hasn't really swung significantly in any of these teams' directions so far. It's always been less than 1K. I guess the most significant you could really look at is how Yazuki is already 2K up ahead of Sekai's, but that's a utility you're talking about.
Oh, Brave Spider comes in. Yoon shows up as well. Arfi able to dash away, and this is, I mean, Alter Ego continuously just testing the waters here.
They were basically like, you know what, Lord's coming up, let's not lose anybody in this. They disengaged, they're gonna go ahead and reset. One of the things we're seeing too from Arfi is, you know, now that he's built up, he might be down 1,000 gold against Innocent, but he's really focusing on trying to catch Stormy. I'm not sure if they're gonna get here in time though. Lord goes for a bit of a reset, but they go.
Stun. To the backside, plays into it, connects onto nobody. Alec gonna get the stun onto 2 in the backside. Arfi tries to disrupt Humes, but is on the run. Cram brought low. Yasuke picks up the kill. Now they're gonna move on to Sakai's. Innocent looking for free shots. Sakai's brought back to the team, and Nino just needs a few more shots. The RWM, the mega kill, and Alter Ego are finding the advantage as we speak.
Okay, Yazuke, another Phantom Steeds trying to chase, but SRG, it's only 3 of them left.
Yep, they can't contest this. That was a hard fought for the Lord here. They'll be able to grab it for Alter Ego.
You would have thought Crab was in such a perfect position already to start a fight, but once it all broke out, he couldn't find his target. He just wanted to go for Hijume at that moment, but Hijume was able to reposition, get under tier 2, and now Cram finds himself in the middle of 4 members of Alter Ego who he couldn't really just fight against all alone.
You know, we keep saying Innocent is doing great. He's 5-0-5, but it's so hard to find multiple members with that blazing duet because Alter Ego has such a split-up composition.
Yeah.
And everyone has dashes, everyone has kites, unless you hit Alec, who's gonna stun you, and they're able to all kind of hold their own, essentially. If they want to go 1v2 somewhere, they can, and at least nobody goes down. So what we saw in the last fight, Innocent Blaze Duets just connects to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but also, again, Arfi is doing a great job at trying to go for Stormy, and then the team, SRG, kind of has to deal with that and help Stormy peel. And that's why Cram ended up dying, because he was separated from the team. So that is going to continue to happen for these team fights, where you see that pressure towards that back line here. The Lord charges in.
Cram into the backside with a bravest fighter, goes straight to his death. A Valkyrie descent, ready for the engage as Yasuke pounces down on a Sekai's, but a blazing duet in the back line, but it's still just not enough. He has to be on my back. He's able to find Hujume. And now it's a 3v3. SRG defend the towers.
Wow, Innocent threaded the needle there. He was 1 hit away from going down, but able to capitalize a kill. That was enough to keep them in the game, but man, Arfi is a menace on this Freya. He might have had a hard time in the early game, but they're looking to take a base turret here.
Yeah, did use the Valkyrie descent to get out though. Now he uses his to dash forward.
Pincer onto Yums. Yums brought very low. Nino able to pick up the kill, but now Yasuke has to back up. Arfi may have finally met his match. Oh, he goes down with Stormy picking up the kill, but they do break the inhibitor.
Arfi's like, I want this kill. He wanted to kill Innocent, didn't even use the flicker, but he goes down. Ultimately, there's some damage on the turrets of the base of SRG. They lose the bottom turret, but still, nonetheless, they keep things mostly intact. 2 base turrets still up, some key defensive items being picked up as well. Now you've got the immortality in the hands of Yums. And yes, like you mentioned, Trex, one of the hard things about this is Innocent getting value out of the Blazing Duet. He does just pick up the Malefic Gun now, so he's got that Rose Gold and a Win in Nature for defense. Yeah, that's the hard thing, is actually getting use of the damage profile that you have. And that's why the panel mentioned this, that the damage profile of it and making it work is a little finicky, and you just got to be able to pull that off.
So maybe that's why RFE really wanted to force that, because he knew, I guess, 2 things. He was already full build, and there was no Winter Crown or Wind of Nature for Innocent. So he really wanted to force that first kill, but Crab.
Gonna push the fight, a nice grab onto Cram, but wait a second, Yums is locking onto Arfi. Alter Ego might want to disengage on this one, not try to take the full fight. They're all down to about half health.
Yeah, that's
quite low.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough time for them though to just reset and prep for the upcoming one. They'll be making sure that they take care of the waves though. Fortunately for them, 1 base turret's already down for SRG.
Yeah, they can work this. Lord is up. Gonna be started here. It will evolve shortly. Again, Flying Clouds being traditionally one of the maps, if not the longest play time right now throughout M7 is Flying Clouds.
Fun fact.
So they'll start this up, half health on the Lord. Attraction Pulse thrown out.
Arfi with a Valkyrie descent onto Sakai's. He's brought down to solo. Arfi is shredding through. And the backside though, Sakai's falls. Cram gonna be the next. Arfi keeps on going. On to the next one, but a Blazing Duet into the backside. Yasuke brought low, but he snipes him out with the sword.
Someone ban this Freya from Arfi.
Why is he still getting his hands on the Freya?
Time after time, Alter Ego break through the base, and it's not going to be enough to stop him here. Waiting for a few more minions, couple more hits, and Alter Ego end game number 1.
The momentum is there. We said it for this series. Smiles on their face, and my goodness, I gotta say, man, take down the threat. Take it away from him or ban it out. Because Arfi, imagine, there was so much focus on him from SRG in the early portion of the game. They kind of shut him down, but then boom, he comes back and locks in and just is a menace in the back line. I mean, Sakai's, Cram, it didn't matter who. The Valkyrie was just tearing him apart.
Because Innocent on this Claude was able to match that Freya, at least for the laning phase, at least for a couple of team fights which we saw in the early stages of the game. He played it really well for a matchup that you would consider to be favoring the Freya, but that wasn't enough to save them in this game where RP just kept jumping in and forcing the fights in the backlines. No, I don't even think that was the backline. That was Sakai's he tried to hunt down in that last fight.
Yeah, he went for Sakai's, he went for Cram. That's what I was saying. RP didn't care about Innocent anymore. He's like, I'm not going to catch Innocent. So he adjusted, especially around the mid-game. He's like, I'm going to go for Stormy. I'm going to go for Skies. I don't care as long as I'm able to get a resource out or potentially a kill. And eventually, he scaled up so much that he was just shredding through anybody he picked. So, again, an amazing game there. Game 1 in the series. Let's throw it over to the panel to talk about Game 1.